Hello guys, welcome back to this channel. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Sophie Waddington and on this channel we talk about all things manifestation and mindset. So if that is your kind of thing, please come and press subscribe and help me to grow this channel. It is nearly New Year and soon everybody is going to be setting their New Year's resolutions and probably never actually accomplishing them because they are not installing the habits that are required in order to get there. So today we are going to talk about habits. I'm sure that you will have experienced that feeling of frustration when you try to change a behaviour or to reach a new goal, and for some reason, no matter how hard you try, no matter how much effort you put in, you still are not able to do it. And that is nothing to do with your lack of willpower. It's all about creating habits to set you up for success. If you have ever felt like you are lazy or you're just not working hard enough or not trying hard enough, and you have had that critical voice berating you for not achieving the things that you wanted to do, then this video is going to be for you, because we're going to break down what's actually going on and how to change that pattern. Your behaviour is driven by the identity that you hold in your subconscious mind. It's incredibly powerful and forceful, and it will trample over you like an elephant if you don't learn how to train it. If you have an identity that is currently installed that says one thing, then it becomes very difficult to change the actions purely through force and by using willpower. And willpower is what everybody tries to use in order to create behaviour change, and they're going about it completely the wrong way. They're making it hard for themselves and they're not creating a lasting change in behaviour. An identity is installed in your subconscious mind through repetition of a thought and repetition of an action. That's how our brains create a system where we are able to take actions that feel automatic, that we don't have to consciously think about. But unfortunately, when we install habits that we don't like based on identities that don't serve us anymore, those keep playing on autopilot too. So in order to break that loop, we have to reinstall a new identity and implement actions that match that new identity. Research suggests that around 50% of our actions that we take day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year are on autopilot because they have become habits. Habits work in a loop. It starts off with a cue, it moves to a craving, then a response, and then a reward. Cue, craving, response, reward. And that is how your mind allows a behaviour to become a part of your comfort zone. On average, it takes around 66 days to create a new habit and a new behaviour loop, which makes that new behaviour go on to autopilot so that you don't have to think about it anymore and it just happens naturally. This is why when you change a behaviour consciously, it feels a bit awkward. You might feel some resistance towards it. It might not feel comfortable, and that is because you are actively rewiring your mind to install a new behaviour pattern based on an identity. Habits are not just actions, they are the proof of the identity that you are holding. Whatever actions you take automatically on a day-to-day basis are a direct reflection of what you believe to be true and to be possible for you. You don't take actions based on what you want, you take actions based on who you are. One of my absolute favourite quotes from an amazing book called Atomic Habits, if you've not read it, you need to go and read it because it's amazing. James Clear says, every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. So you don't become the new version of yourself, the one who has all your desires, the one who's already hit your goal by just thinking about it and wishing. You do that through thinking from it and through backing up those new thoughts around that identity with actions that support that new identity. You are giving evidence to your subconscious mind to say, look, this is what we're doing now, this is who we are. So before we go into the new year and you set those New Year's resolutions and you set them way too high, things that you are definitely not going to achieve because it goes against your current identity, and leave yourself feeling really disheartened and frustrated and let another year go by where you've not achieved those new goals, let me help you to start building habits in a better, more efficient way that are actually going to allow you to achieve that goal and become that version of yourself. The first step to creating a long-lasting habit that is going to carry you through into a new identity is to start so small
but it actually sounds ridiculous.
So this is something that James Clear really hammers home in his book Atomic Habits. It is so important that your mind has very little resistance to the action that you decide to take, because sometimes we focus on the end result and we set ourselves these goals that are just not sustainable. We're going to experience so much resistance to them that we simply can't continue to do them. So whatever your goal is, or whatever you're thinking about putting down for your New Year's resolution, whether it's to go to the gym 5 times a week or whether it's to record a YouTube video every single day, you're going to make that goal 10 times smaller to the point where it almost looks laughable. The reason that this works is because your brain is responding to you saying that you're going to do something and sticking to it. It doesn't have the ability to judge the size of the thing that you're doing. So here's an example. If you said you were going to run 5 miles every day, and then you do it for the first day, maybe you do it for the second day, and then the third day you feel really tired, your mind is bringing up all of that resistance and you don't do it, what your mind will recognise is, oh, no, that's not our identity. We've not followed through with that. That's not who we are. That's not what we do. Let's go back to that safe comfort zone. But if you make the goal to simply tie your trainers and go outside for 1 minute every single day, it's so small that there's going to be very little resistance to it, but your mind is still registering that as, oh, that's what that person said they were going to do, and now they've done it. So that means that our identity is in fact the one that they're affirming. So it doesn't have that capacity to judge the size of something. It's only judging whether you say you're going to do it and follow through, or you say you're going to do it and you don't follow through. Make it super small and easy to do. The second step is to reward the doing of the small action, who you are being, who you are showing up as, and take the focus off the end goal. Quite often we will put all of our focus on the massive end goal, and we are withholding our dopamine until we hit that end goal. Well, what if that end goal takes 6 months? That means that your brain is not getting any dopamine because you're not allowing it to be rewarded for the steps that it's taking. So instead of putting all of your focus on the end result, focus on the consistent habit of doing something new and rewarding yourself every day, celebrating yourself and making time to say, that's who we are now. Look, this is the action we've taken. This is who we're becoming. The first step of the habit loop is cue. Cue, craving, response, reward. So the cue is based on your environment. Whatever you see in your environment or how you set things up in your environment is going to determine your success in building a new habit. It's either going to create a cue that sends you into a behaviour loop that you don't want to do, or the environment is going to give you the cue to do the positive habit. If you are trying to quit eating sugar and start eating healthy foods, then you're going to need to set up your environment to support that new habit loop, to take away any cues that are going to send you into a negative habit loop and to set yourself up for a positive habit loop. So if you wake up in the morning and you open the cupboards and you see loads of sugary foods, you're going to eat the sugary foods because your environment does not support the habit of eating healthily. If you open the cupboards and you see eggs and fruit and other healthy things, then the cue is going to send you into a positive behaviour loop. If you're trying to stop scrolling on your phone all the time and actually focus on your work, move your phone out of the room, go and put it in a drawer in the other room, because if you leave it there, then you have to resist it. You're going to see the cue, you're going to see the notification pop up on your phone, and you are going to go into that old habit loop. So change the environment and set it up to support you in developing the new positive habit. Make things easy for yourself. If you know that you've got a busy day at work tomorrow and you're thinking, oh, I'm worried that I'm going to get distracted and I'm not going to be able to get this done, set your workspace up the night before. Open your laptop, plug it in, get yourself a comfy chair ready, get it all set up so that all you have to do is literally sit down and start, and there are no distractions and no blocks in the way for you to actually start that positive behaviour. So many people feel like they just don't have willpower and they think they're not as strong as other people, or they're just not trying hard enough, and it is not true. Willpower has got nothing to do with long-term behaviour change. Willpower is a really limited resource, and I'm going to show you something on the screen to show you what the willpower is actually for. So as you can see, this willpower only comes in a shot glass. It's only a really, really small amount. Now, if your target, your habit, is to do something of a similar size that only requires that amount of willpower, like for example, tying your trainers and putting them on, then you're going to be able to effectively use your willpower to create this new habit loop. If you are trying to use a shot glass full of willpower to fill up a target that's bigger than a pint, it's not going to work. If you're saying, I'm going to run 5 miles every day, and you're trying to build that habit based on a shot glass worth of willpower, that's simply not going to be enough. And that's when you look at that and you think, oh, I've just not tried hard enough. I've not done it, I've failed, and you go back to the old identity. Now, if you use this new approach where you made the habit loop just simply tying your trainers, then at the end of the month, you're going to have a full habit tracker full of ticks, and your subconscious is now starting to accept the identity of a runner. And you were able to run 15 miles over the month with ease because you didn't put any pressure on the distance that you ran or how long you ran for. You simply committed to putting your trainers on every single day, and you achieved that with ease. And off the back of that momentum, you were also able to get into the habit of running. Now, if you look at this other habit tracker where the person has tried to run 5 miles every day, that subconscious mind is now still holding the identity of a non-runner who has just managed out of force and misery to run for 15 miles over the month. That's it. They have not created any long-term change. They are still the same person with the same identity, and they've actually not achieved any more in terms of running distance than the other way to approach it, through using the small habit and following that up with the momentum. Behaviour change is not supposed to be a really hard struggle. You will have some resistance to changing your behaviour, but if you are clever about it and you go about it the right way, by first installing the new identity through thought and backing up that identity through small, achievable actions every single day, you will very quickly find that you are able to do those things with ease, and you might actually even start to enjoy them because they become automatic actions, because they are simply a part of your identity. When you force yourself to change and you make your goals way too big and you rely solely on willpower, you are only going to change in very short bursts, and then you are going to quickly go back to who you were before. The only way to create sustainable change in behaviour is through installing a new identity and backing that up with habits, starting them off as super small habits. So I hope that has helped you, particularly as we're coming up to New Year and setting your new intentions for 2026. If you enjoyed this video and found some value from it, I would be hugely grateful if you would support my new goal, which is to become a full-time YouTuber. So please subscribe to my channel and let me know what you thought in the comments, and I will see you soon.